做卧底、斗黑帮、追文物 ，FBI 讲述真实工作状态。
At the time, I recovered that in 2003, which is almost 150 years later.
来华游览名胜古迹，保护文物还得用点心。
Maintain good security, upgrade their security, and be sure that they protect their collections.
棱镜门事件曝光 ，FBI 是否也会玩猫腻
？And undercover techniques is just another technique for investigation by law enforcement.
众多精彩尽在本期优酷名人坊。对话美国前 FBI 探员罗伯特·惠特曼。FBI 前探员罗伯特·惠特曼近日来华，你能想象吗？眼前这个满头白发、身材发福的老头，曾经追回过总价值高达3亿美金的艺术品，做卧底、斗黑帮、追文物，这些美国好莱坞式英雄做的事儿，都是我们眼前这位惠特曼先生在现实工作中的常态。作为专门研究艺术品犯罪的 FBI， 追回的东西那可都是稀有珍宝。
Well, there's two pieces, and not everything that I had worked on was always what we call art. In the FBI, we call that program, it's the theft of cultural property, or recovering cultural property. And what that means is that it's art, it's sculpture, but it's also historical artifacts. Probably the most valuable single piece I ever recovered was one of the original 13 copies of the U.S. Bill of Rights. It was stolen during the U.S. Civil War in 1865 from the State House in North Carolina. At the time, I recovered that in 2003, which is almost 150 years later. It was valued at about $100 million. The most expensive piece of artwork was a Rembrandt self-portrait that was stolen in a armed robbery from the Swedish National Museum in Stockholm, and that specific piece was worth about $35 million.
电影中那些偷盗艺术品的盗贼，个个都是身怀绝技，既有花样繁多的偷盗利器，又能闯过层层严密的安保，不禁让人想象，现实生活中的这些盗贼真的有如此多的能耐吗？赶快求证一下 FBI 探员吧。
Well, it depends on the situation. Many of these cases involved armed robbery, and the thieves in these cases, sometimes they would sit and they'd think for maybe 4, 5, 6 months. They would observe the best days to go do the robbery. They'd find out when the fewest people were there. They knew the habits of the guards. So they were very, very good thieves, but they were terrible businessmen. And what I mean by that is these individuals would always think about how they were going to steal, but they didn't know how they were going to sell. Because the true art in an art theft is not the stealing, it's the selling. We recover all these pieces when they come back to market, so it's very difficult to sell a unique piece of art once you've stolen it.
棱镜门事件将美国中情局秘密情报监视项目公之于众，这让广大民众对于中情局的这种非常规破案手法非常的愤慨。是否我们的罗伯特先生在破案时也会使用一些非常规的手段呢？
Well, I found that, throughout my career, there was many times when I had to use undercover techniques. And undercover techniques is just another technique for investigation by law enforcement. Wiretaps, surveillance, interviews. Undercover technique is just another one. But that's a very good way to get elements of the crime. One of the elements of all these crimes is to prove knowledge, that the person knew that the piece was stolen, or the person knew that the piece that they were trying to sell was fake or a forgery. So working undercover is a very stressful situation. It's a very stressful job, but it's very effective when trying to prove these things.
这次罗伯特来华游览了不少名胜古迹，也让他颇为着迷。不知道是否是因为职业的原因，罗伯特游览了一圈之后，让他对于中国艺术品的保护担心了起来。
I think that China is in a very, very interesting position today. And the reason for that is because as the economy grows and China becomes more and more of a world power and the art market grows bigger and bigger in China, what happens is when the art market gets bigger, the criminal market follows suit and starts following the money. So it's going to be very important that collectors and museums, institutions in China maintain good security, upgrade their security, and be sure that they protect their collections.
由罗伯特·惠特曼先生创作的《追击国家宝藏》一书，目前已经与中国读者见面了。书中，罗伯特回顾了自己探员生涯中的重要案件，更告诉了读者保护艺术品的重要性。
Well, I want to do two things. I want to let people know that my book Priceless, which is called Priceless in the United States, what is called Recovering National Treasures in China. I want to know that's coming out. It's going to be coming out and be available in simple Chinese language. And the reason for that is because I want people to read the book. And the reason I wrote the book was because, I want people to understand the importance of cultural property protection, the importance of saving their heritage. I wanted to write a book that's not historical, it's not, academic, it's just interesting. And people would be interested in the true crime cases, but at the same time learn about art and develop an appreciation. The other way we have to educate to appreciate. And that's what I'm hoping that, the average man, the average citizen can read this book, enjoy it, and learn a little bit about it, and then become more, become more interested in allocating resources to saving this material, this cultural property.